Hello and welcome to the Gags Tandon show. We're back once again with another draw, and today I'm joined by the host of Tad Predictable on EPL Index. How you doing, Tad?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. And you, despite that game, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I think, yeah, it's a bit. You're going to feel a bit flat, aren't you, when you come off of a draw where you think you've had some good chances, and you know, I mean, people will say at the end they hit the post right at the end as well, so you kind of say you got away with it, but really. I want to bring in some of these numbers immediately for you, Tad, if that's okay, because I think just looking at this is going to give us a bit of a story. You just look at the XG there, and yeah, it's a 2.44 XG away from home to a 0.73, which pretty much tells you everything. Should be a 2-0 or 2-1 win, but yeah, we just don't have players able to put the ball in the back of the net now. If you look at it. Oh, what am I doing? This is not the view. Yeah, this is the view I want. There you go. That's better. Much better. I think they've changed something on this there. That's what I'm looking for. Right. So, first half. We were well ahead first half. And we were way ahead second half as well. Like, when you look at it like that, they only had 3 shots in the first half, and they scored 2. And look at where their shot placement is second half, Tad. It's all over the place. Villa, that's not threatening at all, really.
No, certainly when you've got a goalkeeper like Alisson, that those are opportunities that you expect him to be saving.
And this shot profile is very nice from Liverpool. So when you look at things like that, it's really frustrating that you come away with that with a draw. You know, I mean, how many shots did Jota miss?
Yeah, and he's probably one of the best finishers at the club. So if chances were going to be falling between, if we look at the strikers or forwards that are there, it's unfortunate that Gakpo's injured at the moment, because his form, or rather our lack of form when he hasn't played these last couple of days in front of goal has been telling. He's the form striker. Obviously, Salah's consistent, so he's always going to be on form. But in terms of everyone else, Gakpo is the one that you actually want to be at the end of chances, and everyone else is trying to pick themselves up. Diaz started the season hot, but he's kind of, the false 9, sometimes playing out wide. He needs to pick himself up in terms of scoring form. Nunes consistently always needing to pick himself up. Jota, the injuries don't help, so he always has to try and get back into rhythm, and you can see that from our performance in front of goal today.
Agreed. It's just not that. I mean, Jota still, you could say, did something good today in terms of creating the goal for Mo, right? So at least you can give him some credit. But Darwin in the second half, dude.
The frustrating thing with Darwin is that when you get someone that young and that raw, and we're seeing it with Højlund at Man United, it's all about potential. You can understand when they're missing chances because you believe in the potential. Darwin's gotten to that point in his Liverpool career where he's been here long enough. He's aged to the point where you now need to have end product. The talk of potential, the talk of wonder kid, etc., it doesn't cut it anymore. You now need to actually be producing, and that's the harsh reality with him, is that he's not good enough to start for a team like Liverpool. Maybe he goes away and does it at another team, and funny enough, maybe at a Man United where it's counter-attacking football, it might suit him better. But it's evident that he's not good enough. And yes, people always talk about the amount of effort he puts in and the pressing and stuff like that. There are forwards all around the world that do put in the same level of effort from a pressing perspective that he does, but also put the ball in the back of the net. So I think that excuse, it doesn't cut it for me anymore. You have to be scoring. You look at the chances that he had, the indecision, the attempted through ball for Szoboszlai. when Szoboszlai was coming short for it. Like it's just disjointed for him at the moment, and you can tell. So yeah, we were hoping that he would maybe pick up some sort of form heading to the end of the season, and he gets a good send-off at the end of the season, but it just doesn't seem to be clicking for him at the moment. So
No,
yeah,
it doesn't seem to be clicking at all. I mean, we just saw something from Chris there, trying my best to keep the faith. For how many times has this team let us down like this before? So deflating. I do agree, but I'm not going to get too deflated. We are still 8 points ahead. If we still do lose it from here, I mean, what? It's 5 points ahead, then level. That's still a good enough lead, to be honest. With 7 out of 11. I love my India said, big up the show. Thank you very much. Paolo said, sounded like a home game for Liverpool with all our chances. Yeah, like we just went through. AG simply can't defend and felt leggy again. 2 points drive puts more pressure on themselves against City as Arsenal beating us. I mean, at the end of the day, with that one, Tad, Trent, what are your thoughts on Trent's performance? And we'll come through back to some of these in a second. But yeah, that defending comment from AG is on point, I think. Even VVD's not looking himself right now. His clearances, things like that, passes, just not there. EB was okay, but I can't even blame Robbo too much today. Going forward, he was actually had a really good game today, Robbo. But defensively, Trent, everything was coming down our right, their left. Both goals were down that side as well, I think.
And I think Unai Emery would have watched the performances that Rashford has had against Trent in the past, and that's why he started him, in my opinion. He said Rashford's had Trent's number from the beginning, and I'm pretty sure if they weren't playing us tonight, Rashford wouldn't have started. But you play a player in form against in terms of opposition. He plays well against Trent, so that's why they've started him. And I think for Trent, it's always going to look bad from an effort level because stylistically, that's just how he defends. And I think it's contrasted with Bradley, who's all gung-ho, heart on your sleeve, very physical defending. So when you've got that contrast of what Bradley gives you in terms of that level of effort and what Trent gives you, it always looks quite worrying. I don't think anyone's going to be able to improve Trent's approach to defending. I think you can tailor the team to help facilitate him being in the team better. And we've seen that with Slot earlier in the season when we switched from the Klopp system to what Slot has brought in. Trent looked better in the system defensively. Not that Trent was giving you Bradley level running into challenges and stuff like that. It's just the team shape was better. And I think that's how you have to accommodate Trent. You accept that he's going to get you stuff going forward, like the goal he did today, and you hope that some of his effort levels don't cost you defensively. But in terms of the defense overall, that to me is probably the biggest worry, because yes, our attack, most of the players aren't playing well, but we know Mo is playing well. So we know we're getting at least one goal, if not two, in a game. Can we keep out a couple of goals? Like, what happened to the pride in keeping clean sheets and being able to prevent goals? We know Mo's going to get us a goal. So if we concede maybe at most one goal a game, you know that you're going to win it because of what Mo's doing up front. We don't need the defense to be, keeping clean sheets week in, week out, but at least stop conceding 2 goals, because that seems to be the issue at the moment. And also, I don't know if you felt this way as well, but Alisson doesn't feel like Alisson. And
like
I don't know.
I don't know. Or he knows some players are leaving or something, so he's lost his mojo. I mean, he made a good save of an offside shot later in the game where you thought that was Ali, but the 2 goals again, he could have done better. I think Szoboszlai did block him for one, but the header, he's nowhere near it as well. And I guess the header was a good one, to be fair. So we can't really. But his passing right now, he's so lethargic on the ball. Like I think it was Sean Godwin in Discord saying that's what hammies does to you. Having so many hamstring is just going to slow you down, and you can see how slowed down Not Nunez. You can see how slowed down Ali is right now. I'm all over the place. I totally agree. I think the big difference between Arsenal and us is their defense, as somebody said in Discord as well. The big difference is defense, and they can keep a clean sheet, and we can't. To be fair, Villa are one of the better forward, attacking teams in the league. They do play good football going up top, but their defense was so weak today. And the Darwin sub, to bring him on and for him to miss that chance. I mean, not even get it on target and then not go round the keeper and get the keeper sent off either. Like, why are you side footing it into him? How? Like, in which world is that the play? In which world is it not the play to nick it over him or go round him? Like, why is he going inwards rather than outwards? The thing
I 100% expected him to flick it over the keeper.
Me too.
Because the keeper's coming sliding. So, if you flick it over him, he's taking you out. Also, low key, I was really upset with him because if you watch really good forward players, as soon as that ball goes forward and Darwin starts making his run, and the first thing he needs to do is look across to see, is there anyone on the right-hand side? Because Mo's made a run. Mo is gone. He's wide open. So, and Darwin does this a lot where as soon as he starts accelerating, his head is down. He does not pick his head up until he's gotten the ball in, under control.
Yeah.
Which is not great for elite level strikers. The first thing he should do, as soon as he starts running, because he knows where he's running, the ball's in front of you. You're not having to go around the defender or anything. As soon as he starts running, pick your head up, and he would have seen Mo on the other side of the pitch. And then he's got another option of, he doesn't have to run and kick it past the keeper. He just needs to kick it to the right-hand side. Anywhere there, Mo was going to pick it up and go and, walk it into an empty net. So he's got that option. Then he's got the option, which is the first thing that he should have done was, flick it over the keeper, just chip it over the keeper. I don't understand why he's taking that type of touch. He confuses me with what he does from a forward play perspective in terms of someone that's meant to have grown up playing up front. He does a lot of things wrong. It's unfortunate that we're in this situation where I don't think we could have brought in another forward because of the forwards that we have. I think it would have needed to be one out for one in. So we're just going to have to hope that he gets a couple, maybe some like what Diaz did on the weekend, where it just comes off his hip or something, because it's not looking great from that perspective.
Mad how much of a big loss Gakpo is on the team, and I bet none of us would be saying that a year ago. Like, it's crazy, Not sure Slot should have taken Trent off. We missed Cody. Yeah, I think Trent should have come off. It's just unlucky that Bradley looks like he's done a calf, because the way he was limping didn't seem like a hamstring. It just seemed like, because he was holding his calf as well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if it's a hamstring again. I hope it's not his hamstring again, to be honest, because that would be a big recurrence again. And if it's a different one, I mean, I guess it's still not very good. We're flying through these comments. I can't even read them. Like, Jack, what's going on? I'm just, right, let's slow down. So where are we? Darwin was one of the most worst cameos, so frustrating. Where are we going next? Let's try and read a few of these. Zboza needed to shoot rather than pass. Yeah, absolutely. I thought that too.
And on that one, Gags, if we can pause on that one quickly. If you watch the next time Szoboszlai has the ball in their box, he then could have passed the ball, but he looks up and he sees it's Darwin and he doesn't pass and he goes backwards. And so now we're affecting how the team is performing. So it's having knock-on effects.
It's sad. It really is sad. We always peak in November and fade away in Feb. Well, I hope that's not true. I used to think Darwin was very inconsistent, and unfortunately, he's now very consistent in a bad way. I know. What can you do? This is the problem. If tonight hasn't shown we need to try go all out for Isaac, I don't know what will. Yep, I agree with that one. We should go all out for him. He would be the game changer. He would just make us. And I think with Mo, if Mo stays and comes in, we become unbeatable, really, up top. It'll be goals galore. He'll just get onto so many things that Mo does. And I think it'll give Gakpo and Diaz a new lease of life as well with him in the team. They'll just create so much for him. Let's see. Yeah, we got to stump up the cash. Will we? No idea. Next one. Arsenal will drop points. Some tough games. West Ham home, Forest away, United away if they turn up, Chelsea at home. I mean, I agree, but yeah, and if they don't get Saka back and if they keep playing the way they are, because the Champions League is going to be in between some of those as well now, their squad's gonna really hurt in the next month and a half, but maybe so will ours. So I think one of the big positives from today was that we didn't lose and that we continue to keep coming back into games. And then we're really gutted that we don't win. But one thing that we should think is that, maybe this Klopp team last year would have lost that game. And that's why we're where we are now coming into March, going into end of Feb, we'll still be top and going in. I think the key thing is coming out of next week with at least 4 points now against City and Forest, and I think Arsenal might do the same thing, get 4 points from West Ham and Forest, and then see where we are. Just see where we are at the end of this real tough run. We just need to take a game at a time. I would just say this was another free game for us. We haven't managed to get. There was 2 free games, Everton and this one. One the catch-up game, one through a game to play 1 extra. We've got 2 extra points out of it instead of 6. I mean, you probably take 1 loss and 1 win then in the end with this because you get the extra point. But nobody thinks like that at the time. If you had lost to Everton and won today, would you have taken it? I don't think you would have. I think you would have been pissed. So I guess we can only go by what's happened. And same with us, go here in the context, the draw against Villa ain't bad. But when you see those missed chances, it makes you wonder with every game. With Newcastle, we're going to go back through all the draws again. With Everton, with this game, Everton, with Man United, with Newcastle, we got ourselves into positions where we could have won. In this one, we came from behind, could have won. Darwin misses a biggie. In the Everton, we concede late. In the Newcastle, we concede late. In the United, we concede late. So you just got to hope those things don't harm us at the end. That's all we can hope for. But I think we are running out of legs as well. You can tell, Grav made a couple of really important interceptions in our own box at the end, but he is slowing down. It's not his fault. He just hasn't played this many minutes in a top flight season ever. So people having a go at him are crazy. We're just overplaying him. Yeah, EJB, I think Arsenal will be up for all their games, and that's the difference now. They know there'll be 5 points within 5 points of us on the weekend. And if we lose to City for a set, let's say, then that could mean 2 points within us. It's that tight now. So it could go either way. But then City just got tonked by Real Madrid today, and they played a full game, and they don't have much of a squad and much legs. So I'm wondering what's going to happen on the weekend with them because they're going to be pretty tired as well tonight. Back on Darwin, I have no doubt in my mind to give Chiesa those opportunities to win the game. I'm not sure. Well, Chiesa's ready.
The thing with that as well is not many other players would get into those positions. You know what I mean? I don't think Chiesa would be fast enough to have an opportunity to chip it over Martinez. Martinez probably gets there a lot quicker than what Chiesa would do. So Darwin gets into dangerous positions. It's just what he does with those positions that is quite annoying and disappointing. But for me, I think it's telling that Chiesa hasn't played a lot. Obviously, we know early in the season we were trying to get him fit and up to scratch, but from my perspective, he's had since January to stake a claim. And we've seen Slot has been willing with some players to let them play for the shirt. Gakpo is the perfect example for that. He played for that shirt. Diaz had it, and Gakpo took over. All the games that Chiesa has played, I've seen flashes, but I've not seen enough to warrant him getting, more opportunities. And maybe now, out of necessity, Darwin drops down behind him in the pecking order. But equally, Gakpo is hopefully back soon, so he would then take that position that Darwin has in the pecking order. So I think it's a tall order for Chiesa to really factor in this season.
I totally agree. I think it's going to be hard for him to even get a kick, really. So we just have to we just have to keep going. I think saying stuff like what yeah, we could win on the weekend. I mean, we haven't won in there in the league in a long, long time. So if there's a time to do it, Ahmed, it's now. You know, it's really now. But there's a comment here that I wouldn't really want to put up. But Liverpool going to lose the league. Pressure is telling already. Players all over the place cannot score from set play. Almost let goals in every set play. Well, I'm not sure they let goals in every set play. I don't think you're watching the games properly. If you watch the game today, that was Liverpool all over them, like 2.4 xG away from home and only conceding 0.73 xG. They had 2 goals that went in. It's one of those days for Villa where they, you know, pretty much in the first half, 3 shots on goal, 2 went in. It's your lucky day, man, against Liverpool. Very lucky day. I'm not sure I agree with the seed at all there. I think that's a load of nonsense, if I'm honest. But
And I think it's a momentum thing, Gags. At the moment,
yeah.
I think Arsenal have the momentum, even with the injuries that they have. I think the momentum has swung in their favor in terms of how results have gone in recent weeks, and I think that we just need to wrestle that momentum back. That's what it is. We have to wrestle the momentum back.
There's a big chance to do it because once you play City, it's 3 home games in the Premier League. You got Newcastle at home, who Newcastle away from home aren't very good, folks. Like they're just not. They're very good at St. James's Park. Then you got Southampton at home and you got Everton at home, who are going to get an absolute pasting from us in that game at Anfield. That's going to be so hot. That atmosphere is going to be hostile for Everton. So you got those 3 games coming, and that's the chance, really, Tad, to get those wins under the belt and really put that pressure on Arsenal. Now, if I try and just go to Arsenal quickly and look at the same time what they're doing, which should be at the top here, go forward. So if I click on that, click on them, fixtures, what have Arsenal got at the same time? You've got that West Ham game, which I think Arsenal will actually win easily. Then you've got Forest away and United away, where they could draw. I think they could draw. United could do a draw at home, maybe. I hope so. Again, the Chelsea-Arsenal game could be a draw. I don't think Fulham are going to be easy, by the way. No chance they're going to be easy. Fulham are in real good form, and we've got them as well, so it's going to be tough. But then they've got Everton and Brentford. I actually think that's a pretty tough set of games. Sad.
Yeah, and I think all of those teams could turn up and give a performance. I'm looking at the West Ham one. It will be hard to see West Ham getting anything from that game. They're looking poor at the moment. Nottingham Forest, obviously, we've seen how well they've played this season. They're at home. I think they're going to try and make it difficult for Arsenal. We know what they can do on the counter attack, so it's a difficult game. The Man United one, you never know what Man United turns up.
Exactly.
As poor as Man United are at the moment, they are going to turn up for the big games. They just are. And if Arsenal allow them to turn it into a dogfight like we did with the Everton game, then Man United definitely have a chance, especially on that counter attack. They can be lethal. And we saw it against Man United, where we thought they were an absolutely poor team, but they come and play us. We play the occasion instead of playing the team that's in front of us, and we make the game a lot more difficult. It's very easy to do that, and Arsenal could end up doing that as well. The Chelsea game will be massive. Obviously, you're hoping that Chelsea play themselves into some sort of form by then. And then looking further down, I don't even want to look too far down from that, because in 3 weeks' time, so many things could happen. Fulham could, you know what I mean? Fulham could pick up form.
Yeah.
Fulham have been playing well at patches this season, and Smith Rowe and Iwobi and all of those Arsenal ex-boys are going to be wanting to come and put on a performance. Maybe they're going to have the team, geared up for that one. So I think at the moment, it's frustrating. Am I worried? Not yet.
Not yet. No.
But I do think Arsenal have the momentum at the moment. And I think an important thing to note as well is, yes, we currently have the higher goal difference. If I'm not mistaken, we've got a +7 goal difference. But I don't think that factors in, you know how usually a goal difference is +1 point for you, basically. I don't think it factors in this case, because if they catch up to us on points, it means we're losing games, which means our goal difference is going to drop all the way down and their goal difference is going to come up. So if anything, the goal difference is going to swing in their favor if they catch up to us. So I don't think people should look at the goal difference from that perspective. We're not far away from them enough.
And remember, Champions League games are going to be in between these, Tad, for them. So when those Champions League games come, like us, I mean, we're used to playing them at the moment in terms of two teams, but they've got a bare, they've got a real thin, bare squad right now. So when they come to play those Champions League games with these games either side, there's probably even more of a chance of them dropping points too. That's the hope, though. That's the hope. We've got to live in. It's the copium going on right now, chaps. It's that's what's happening. So so if you look at the chances of the second half, there's one player in the dressing room who feels quite down. You know who it is.
Yeah,
Called him out.
That's fair. At least Wichlot, he doesn't mince his words. And look, everyone knows Darwin should have scored. He'll know himself. Usually players are their biggest critics, so he'll know himself he should have scored. And it's just a matter of how, and this is where managers earn their money. We talk about managers earning their money in different ways and picking squads and stuff like this, but how do they pick Darwin Núñez up from this game? That's where you make your money. How do you get it? Because we still need him for the rest of the season. As much as, people might not like him at the moment or whatever the case may be, we need every single squad player this season. And we need Darwin to come up with 3, 4, maybe 5 goals leading into the end of the season. And we need him, believing that he can deliver, for us this season. So I'm interested to see how they manage Darwin over the next couple of days.
It's going to be interesting. I don't think he comes anywhere near playing. Oh, Sudge, very, very kind Arsenal fan, again, is here. Thank you, Sudge. Really appreciate the super chat. As a Gooner, we will struggle to score. I can see us dropping points as well moving forward. Well, we're hoping so, mate. But we really appreciate you being here and being so kind to us. And I don't know. We'll see. Looks like both teams. Looks like Arsenal, like Tad says, are in a better bit of form. I know you've gone out of the Carabao with Newcastle, so it doesn't feel like it. But the last three league wins, I think, in a row, or maybe more actually in a row now. So yeah, there's a chance you're catching us. But let's see what happens on the weekend. Let's see what happens against Forest. And obviously, we've still got 2 big games in this run to come. But then I guess your big run starts and ours drops off a little. So maybe there's a bit of, ebb and flow here going to happen. Tad as well. Maybe there's a bit of us dropping and then them dropping, and it's all going to be a bit of a roller coaster. So don't go anywhere. It's all going to be a big end to the season. It's worth giving Chiesa a minute to try and get a goal or create something at the end of games. Núñez hasn't taken the chance he's been given. Chiesa can cause havoc if fit and firing. Thanks, Damo. I'm not sure. I mean, there's something he's not missing, right? There's something is missing from Chiesa in terms of slot. Why isn't Tsimikas starting sometimes? Sorry, I missed that last one. What was the last one? Yeah, I mean, you can look at it that way, instigator, DJ. I think positive and optimistic fans will take it in that way. And I think negative fans, or at least maybe the realist fans, will say, we should have taken the 3. We should have taken the 3. And I think I agree with you. Villa's taken points from loads of teams. But we outplayed them today. We outplayed. Yeah, I think you're saying that to Tafseed as well. I saw that. I agree with you in terms of I don't think we've given it away just yet. Wow, it's harder.
Basically a penalty.
It's better than a penalty. Like, that's hard to miss, man. Darwin, dude. Darwin, it makes it hard, man, to love you sometimes. Honestly, you make it hard. I love my Indus. Darwin, big chance miss. Swazo, big chance miss. Which was the big chance Swazo missed? Johnson hits the bar. CJ drags wide. LFC very close. 5 games in 15. Truly mad. EFL with mad Sturgeon. Well, it's not EFL really. Let's beat City. But yeah, I think we all change our mind if we beat City. I think everybody will just switch it to we're going to win the league now.
That's the thing. I think both sets of fans are going to feel that way throughout the rest of the season. It's not a, and probably if City were in this title race, everyone would feel you need to win the rest of your games to stand a chance.
I don't think you feel that.
But everyone knows that both teams are going to, or at least you should know that both teams are going to drop points.
Yeah.
And we're going to get those extreme reactions from fans when that happens. The Arsenal fans, if they drop points this weekend, they're going to, be kicking up a storm. Equally, our disappointment in this game. As one of the comments said earlier, a draw against Villa is a good result. But in the context of trying to win a league title, it's magnified, right? So a draw away from home to a Villa side that's a perennial Champions League team now, with a good manager in Unai Emery and some really talented players. It's a good point, and I think it's a good point when you consider that you probably don't need 90, the 95, the 96, the 98, the 100 points in order to win a league title. So yeah,
I agree. I think there's one from Asghar as well just before this. I'm clicking at the same time as Jack. If we play like today against City, then I think they will be there for the taking. I agree. Like, at least a week on, the performance is way better than against Everton, right? In this game, like, it's a better attacking side against us. Everything. I thought at least we gave them the first 20 minutes was superb. Like, we were just all over, and we should have.
And the pressing traps were really, really good in this one. We were dictating where they were passing the ball, which was really good to see. And City are going to be like this. So if anything, this was a practice game for City. If you see it from that perspective, they're going to play from out the back. They're going to try and beat our pressing traps, and we're going to need to be really on it from a pressing from the front perspective.
Do you think he starts Jota in that game again? I think he's come up early for a reason.
I think he starts Jota again. I think the thinking is you play Jota into form, especially as long as Gakpo's not there. You play Jota into form.
Looks like he's back on the weekend, right, Gakpo? From if you take the hints from thing, because he says he's back with us but not ready yet. So if he gets
but I don't think you can start him. Probably.
I think so. I think it was only a kick. It wasn't I don't think it was like a muscle problem. I think it was like I think it was like bruising. Yeah, no, I don't think so. If it's like a muscle pull, I get it, but I think he actually took a bad hit to like his foot, so it's probably just swelled up a bit. That's all. So
I guess it depends what you want to do with Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones. If you continue that, Szoboszlai and Curtis playing as well as Graven Mack, and then you're saying there's one position up front left. Okay, but he could still play Gakpo on the left and Jota up front. There is that option, and then you drop Curtis Jones. But I think his thinking is in terms of those that play that number 9 position, Jota's probably going to give you the best end product. Yes, he missed chances today, but we saw him hit the post as well. I think Jota gives you the best chance. So I think he's going to try and play him into form.
Okay. I think I agree with you. I hope Gakpo's back, so it's Gakpo, Jota, and Mo. And I think you get a real crazy game. I really do. Because what we're missing right now is that far post cross, where Mo plays it far post and Gakpo's running in. We're missing it at the moment. We're missing that.
And Gakpo's been playing it to Mo as well now.
Yeah, exactly. XG tells the story. 2 goals from 0.7, sloppy goals. Absolutely. I think the Watkins finish is very, very good, though. He's a really good forward, Watkins. I wouldn't mind going for him if we couldn't get Isaac. I'll be honest. I think he'll be lethal for us if we got him as well. So there's some good forwards out there. A point to point. That's all that matters. Thank you, David. Very fine contribution from you there. When you're riding the bench, you'd expect a player to come on and bust a gut to prove himself. Darwin comes on and he busts a gut, but the poor chap the gut's not enough. It's just not enough. It's just a poor gut, is what we have to say. It's just not good enough. He's just too. But
also, there's
it just weren't good enough. Yeah, go on, Tad.
There's also the difficulty if you talk to players and they describe being on the bench and having to come on and get up to the speed of the game and all of that. And whilst you're sitting on the bench, your job is not just to sit on the bench and watch the game. It's to try and decipher how you would influence the game if you come on. And obviously you get different instructions as and when you come on, and what the scenario is when you're coming on. But to me, it doesn't seem like Darwin comes on any different in any, like every game he comes on, he gives the same type of performance of he's going to press the other team to death. He's going to get chances. It's just whether or not he puts it in the back of the net that day. Unfortunately for us, more often than not, he's not been putting the ball in the back of the net. He's getting chances. He's getting into good positions. He just, I don't know if he needs to slow the game down more, if he needs to speed it up more, because the misses that he has are so vast. Like there's some players where you could watch them and say, okay, he needs to slow the game down and he'll be able to finish his chances. Or there's some people that, okay, he's taking too long. He needs to react quicker. Darwin, it's all over the spectrum. Some chances he's taking too many touches. Some chances he's going too quickly. Some chances it's a lack of concentration. It's all over the spectrum. And I think that's what makes it difficult to coach him. I'm assuming how does Slot's team, his coaching team, how did they fix a guy who doesn't have just one problem in front of goal? It's all various weird different chances. It's such a difficult thing to fix.
How does one play Darwin into confidence? It's impossible. You'd think after Brentford he'd be flying, and then after that, but he just doesn't get enough game time. But then when he does play from the start, imagine how much of a hero he'd be today if that had gone in. Like, he is flying for the rest of the season to get a winner like that at such a spot. It's just, he doesn't help himself. I don't know why. I don't know how you can miss it, to be honest. How can someone miss that chance? It's only him that can miss that chance at 0.86 xG, like 0.89. It's a 90% chance. Everybody else scores it. Robertson scores it at the far post. Everyone scores it, Sud says, we have United in a few weeks. Our record hasn't been great at Old Trafford. City hasn't been good recently, especially against quality opposition. Well, I hope City's form continues. And, well, I'm not sure we can bank on Man United, Sud. I would guess you'd be better than them, even with half a team, to be honest, mate. They are atrocious right now. Completely atrocious. And
Arteta's embraced and his whole philosophy is basically steered towards, we're going to win 1-0. That's the philosophy for him. We're going to win 1-0. And as we've seen how good they are defensively, they pride themselves on that. And maybe we need to try and not replicate Arteta, because I hate his style of football. And I'm a huge Arsene Wenger fan, and I think he's he's anti Arsene Wenger. But I do think there has to be some sort of going back to, we're not going to concede. As I keep saying, we've got Mo Salah on the pitch. We're going to score a goal. Can we put all our efforts into not conceding?
Tad, this goes back to January and the point that there was a few things we could have done, especially with the injuries that are now rolling up in defense again.
Yeah.
That we should have bought some fullback, centre-back cover. We should have bought a defensive midfielder. Like, it's not rocket science. We can all see this. You can see it coming from a mile off. What's missing right now? What's stopping us these goals? If we have a defensive midfielder, you get an extra tall player in between the back two, the centre backs whenever they're needed. This is what Fabinho used to do. And if sometimes Konate comes out of position, and we have these great teams against us where they can just go into the pockets like Villa do. They loved it. They love playing in between those areas, Villa.
And did you see see how Watkins scored his goal? If you go back and watch it, he delays his run from outside the box until just before Digne's about to cross it. Then he runs into the box. So he's the striker. So obviously you're expecting him to be already in the box with the centre backs picking him up. But because he delays his run, that's the CDM that's meant to pick that up. But because we don't have a player that's defensively minded. Grav, for as well as he's done this season, he's not a defensive midfielder from a mental perspective. He's not going to be thinking, oh, I need to pick up the late runners. And that's, if you go watch that back, it's a late run from Watkins. And because he's made the late run, he's free, he's open. And from a transfer perspective, I've been of the opinion for a couple of years now that we're willing to be in the conversation for the title. We will do whatever's needed to be in the conversation for a title. We're not going to do what's needed to go win a title from a transfer perspective. So if let's say this season we ended up finishing 10th, I bet you Liverpool would go and spend 300 million, 350 million easy. But we're still in the conversation for titles. There's no need to go and spend money. I don't agree with that philosophy, but I think it's evident from precedent and how the club has approached it. And I always say, and I think I've said to you privately as well, clubs outside of Liverpool are surprised by how lackadaisical Liverpool are in the transfer market, how they don't act like what you would expect a club as big as Liverpool are to act in the transfer market. And I think it stems from that fact of our philosophy is, as long as we're challenging for the title, we're okay. And as long as the squad is, good enough to be challenging for a title, that's more than enough, because that guarantees Champions League football. If you're challenging for a title, you guarantee Champions League football. And then we've got our hat in the ring. If we win the title, great. If we don't, it's fine. That from a financial perspective, we're still stable. We're still fine. I don't think we operate as a club that's actively going to win titles. I think we operate as a club that's happy to challenge the titles. And because of who we are as Liverpool and the squad that we've built in the past, it's easier to not have to do anything because we've got a lot of talented players as it is.
I totally agree. But it's sickening. It's not frustrating. It's sickening now, because it's help the players, just help the players a little bit, help. Imagine, I just keep imagining a Mascherano or a Fabinho in this team, and they're smoking this league. They're absolutely smoking it, Tad. Completely, easily, just because of the way stuff plays.
And the thing is, Gags,
get Onana, get the guy that went. Is it Onana that plays for Villa? He's injured at the moment.
Yeah. Came from Everton.
Just get him in. Even that will do. It doesn't have to be world class. Just needs to be someone tall, strong, leggy, got the engine, can just break up play and just pass it to the next player. Give it to Mac, give it to Dom, give it to CJ. He doesn't need to pass around. Just do it. It's just there's loads of them out there. Taz.
You would hope that we would have, especially after a lot of people's hearts got broken after after the Bellingham deal. That by all accounts we thought we were in the running for. For me, it was the Tchouaméni one, Gags. The Tchouaméni deal. I've never been so confident that we were signing a player than Tchouaméni.
If I talk about that transfer, holy shit, we got.
I've never been. I'm telling you, of any signing that Liverpool have made, outside of obviously knowing that person is literally signing a contract, but Tchouaméni is the one that I was so convinced we were signing. But equally, Real Madrid people were as confident as I was we were signing him. That's how confident they were, but I thought they were the delusional ones. Meanwhile, I was the delusional one, it turned out.
Dude,
and
that
since
guy
then
went round the whole of AXA.
He took a tour.
Did his medical, everything. And the only thing he didn't do, my agent hasn't come with me, or whoever it was that needs to sign the papers with him didn't come with him. What a guy.
But Gags,
that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit thing about this club, man.
But surely, okay, if we mess up the Tchouaméni one, we mess up the Bellingham one, we mess up the Caicedo one, right? Surely, and all three of those are big financial deals, from transfer fees, wages, agents' fees, everything. Those are massive financial decisions that you're making. Surely that means you've kept your powder dry for an opportunity like this where City aren't involved in the title race. That's probably what irritates me the most, is if you've gone big on 3 of those players in recent seasons and it's not worked out. Any season that Man City are not in the title race, you have to go all in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because of what City have become. And the fact that we didn't do that in January is frustrating, and hopefully we don't rue that missed opportunity in January to improve the squad.
And I think we will rue it a little bit, but let's see. Fingers crossed. I hope you're right and we don't. But thank you, Chris, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. I think Slot not using his players has been his weakness. Need to utilize Endo, Harvey, Chiesa. It's all hands on deck now. Let's go. To be honest, the problem with playing Endo and Harvey in midfield is their height. We are playing teams, we need some strength in there and some height in there. That's every team we're playing is got some strong midfielders in. I think playing both of those together would be tough. Endo is just a good finisher to come on. We didn't need him today because we weren't winning. I think if we were winning, he would have come on again and tried to finish the game with us. But,
by the way, Chiesa is probably a height thing as well. He's 175. So, compared to who's coming on, a Darwin who's tall, a Gakpo who's tall, a Diaz who's taller than him. I think size definitely plays a factor, Chris, in terms of when we bring those players on and if we can bring those players on in certain games. I think Harvey, but again, Harvey, Chiesa, I think Endo's, you can put him in a separate category because I think Slot he's not going to use him a lot, but he appreciates what Endo brings in terms of, I know when I can bring him in. I think with Harvey and Chiesa, he's going to turn around and say, I've given them opportunities. And I think we've seen how pissed off Slot was with the Forest defeat at the beginning of the season. Could you imagine how pissed off he is about the Plymouth one? Like, I sent you guys there. We had more than enough to go and win that game. And you guys go and mess it up. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's had a detrimental effect on, the chances for Harvey, Chiesa, Endo, et al., or all those people that played in that game.
Of course.
Just because we know Slot, he does hold those things for quite a while.
If given it now, would you take a draw against City?
Yes, I would. And the reason I say that is because I think they're really dangerous on the counter-attack. I think they can do us on the counter-attack. We've not been confident on the counter-attack. Imagine Mamouche versus Trent, like the Trent we saw today.
No. He's played a full 90 today, though, Mamouche, so might not start.
Oh, he's starting. He has to start for them.
And Haaland didn't get off the bench, so they've saved him for us.
Yeah. Because remember also there's the factor of Arteta is his protege. Like they're coming in motivated for this game. And also think of how much I think animosity Pep has towards Liverpool. Like Klopp's the one that stopped him from having won all the league titles, basically, in his tenure. I secretly think Pep would have loved to coach Liverpool.
I do.
So they're coming to spoil the party. Like we know Everton came to spoil the party. City are coming to spoil the party. They want to do a favor for Arsenal. They want to do a favor for Arteta. We just have to go and we just have to. I'll take a draw. Would you take a draw?
No, can't afford a draw, unfortunately. I think if a draw happens on the weekend, that's when the squad is going to lose it. They have to go all out to win on the weekend, unfortunately. I think I'd lose some of my will to the will to live if we didn't win. against them. I think they've not been very good. They're there for the taking, and we should really go balls out against them again and not worry about what happened today. Bad day today. Unlucky, we should have won today. Should have battered them. We did batter them. We did batter Villa, but yeah, it hasn't quite worked out. Interestingly, Holland was on the bench, so I know someone's saying that he was injured, but he was on the bench, so he's not very injured if he can travel and is on the bench. I think we did batter Villa. 2.4 xG against 0.7 is a bit of a battering, to be honest. Loads of big chances, missed them all. I think it was a bad day, unlucky for us. That also conceded 2 goals against really poor chances for them. So yeah, I think overall we could say it was just a bad day in the end overall. But I thought, like, I do agree with him. We were the team that should have won. Slot knows what he's talking about. There were 2 teams that played who deserved to win. It was Liverpool. They should have. But what can you do? What can you do when someone misses? Waz says he's happy with the point. Tough place to go. I think everybody was okay after. At half time, I said to my daughter when we were watching, "I'll take a point right now," and that's what we got in the end. But when you miss that chance, you kind of feel, 0.89 xG is just like that's just nuts.
That's the thing. On paper, you take a point. In context, you're pissed off. No, you know what I mean? You're pissed off with the chances that we had.
So I tell you what happens if you beat City, though. These guys will go on and win the league. That's the thing. The motivation you get out of winning at Etihad, the place where some of these guys have struggled over time. I think we won only once in the Champions League there with Klopp, and pre a lot of the big boys joining, like VVD and Mo. We won there with Coutinho and co. That was the first season, maybe. So it's been a while in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that we won there. So like, if you do it,
and was that the Champions League performance as well?
Yeah, that's the only. Like I said, this team has only won in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, they've not done it like this lot. I think it was Coutinho and Firmino and Emre Can and those types of players that won the game. I remember the nice interplay with the back heels and flicks and stuff that we scored a few goals. But that wasn't a Guardiola. Was that a Pep team? I'm not sure. Yeah, it was. I think Pep
was there slightly before Klopp.
Yeah, so it was a Pep team. So yeah, I think we've only beaten Pep once at Etihad in the Premier League, and that was the first Klopp one before like Mo's and co. I think I don't think we can afford to lose, really. Yeah. So I'm sure Nunes has actually missed a chance with the high XGs, which is mad. Really? Oh, was that one on the line when it went over? It's probably one.
He's got, how people have highlight reels? He's got like a highlight reel of a high XG misses. He's got like a top 10. It's unfortunate.
I think Arsenal definitely
they will. They will.
I think they definitely will. I want them to drop points this weekend more than anything, because it would be nice. What would be the best for us if West Ham did something? But can we actually do anything with I mean, we can't.
With the advantage.
No. If you asked me at the start of the season, 8 points clear, would you take it? Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But it's just how these fixtures are falling, which changes the momentum, like you said, a little bit. You know what I mean? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think K-Max says we are dropping points as well at the end of the day, which is very true. That's 2 draws out of 3. When was the draw before that? Forest, was it? I think it was Forest, start of Jan, mid-Jan. Then we won a few. Then we've drawn. I think what the big thing about this team is they don't lose often. So,
and that hopefully is what gets us over the line, is turning a lot of these losses into into draws.
Agreed.
And if we think about how poor we were in front of goal today, we still scored 2 goals.
I know,
which is mad. Usually a team as poor, a team as poor as we were in front of goal today doesn't score 2 goals. So we've got that going for us. I think
what you said at the start, Tad. We just got to stop conceding stupid goals.
Yeah, we're do that.
We walk the league. We do that and we walk because we're going to score every game. You know it.
Yeah.
But again, it's that DM that's missing, man. It's just what I said.
And we've got that crazy stat. I can't remember how many games it's been now of scoring more than 2 goals in a game at Anfield. So we know we're going to score 2 goals every game. I think the Forest one that you were speaking about is the only one where I'm not counting the FA Cup, where we've only managed to score 1 goal. In the league, all of our games, I'm going back here, Gags. In the league, I can't see a game where we haven't scored more than 1 goal since Crystal Palace on the 5th of October. Every single game, we've scored 2 goals.
Wow.
So just stop conceding.
Wow.
Stop conceding.
Yeah,
we're scoring 2 goals.
Lots of 2-2 draws. Lots of 2-2 draws, isn't it? That's the problem. Loads of 2-2 draws. We just got to stop. Yeah, we definitely are leggy, but that's because, like, if you look at it, we're playing a core of players all the time. The manager is not trusting that the bench, like people are saying, but I get why as well. You give him a chance to go to Plymouth and stuff and prove something. They didn't do it, so he's gonna not play them. That's why Dom was playing, like, he played all 4 midfielders today, which was a big surprise at the start of the game for me. I was like, what? So it's just, we just gotta, like we said at the start of this pod, Tad, you were spot on. Just need to shore up that defense, get it tighter. And I think the injuries haven't helped. You know how much players have been coming in and out of that defense. It's not been a settled back line. And now Trent is going to have to play these games if Bradley's got a serious one, which I pray is not a serious one. I love Bradley. I think he's so good. But
I think in terms of leggy as well, I felt I agree with you, Wes. I felt we were leggy, and the reason I say that specifically is because there were chances to go and actually.
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, we're back. I think you froze for a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. No idea what happened there. Everything just disappeared. Okay, well, what was I saying? I think I was just saying we just need, a settled back line. I don't know what's going to happen with Kwanzaa, whether Kwanzaa will, come in at right back and stuff like that. I have no idea, but it's looking a bit shaky at the back now in terms of injuries as well. I wonder whether he's going to use Endo as a centre back at some point, but maybe some Champions League games if we've coasted the first leg or not. But again, really tough. Yeah, I was going to totally agree. It's so important. We're just not doing it enough. Even Wolves made the game harder for ourselves.
Do you think it's going to get to a point where he has to decide between the Champions League and the Premier League?
If the players keep dropping off, yes, absolutely. We just need to we just need to focus on the Premier League. Like, I really do want to win this league. That for me, this is the trophy that needs to be. We need to go all in on. That's all. So if players are dropping, then we have to decide which way we go. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because imagine you go for everything again like we did in 2022, and what happened? We dropped both. We won the Carabao and the FA Cup, which, to be honest, great cups to win when you go there, and hopefully I'm attending as well. It'll be great, but I would rather win the Premier League more than anything. And like I said, being in a title challenge with Arsenal, I have some demons that I need to wipe from 1989, like I said last week. So if you witnessed that season when you're in a title race with these lot and you feel the pain of a last-minute goal in the last game of the season, you never want to feel that again. And I think I have some of those things to kill this year. So whatever happens, we win the position we're in right now. Champions League, look, it's one-off games sometimes. If you're tight first leg, second leg can go either way because it's a one-off. You can lose it. You could go to extra time and go to penalties. You can go out. It's one of those. But the Premier League, you're 8 points clear. You have to win this. You have to. And you know what the saving grace could be? After Man City, it's 7 home games in 11 for Liverpool. 7 home games in the Premier League, 4 games away from home. So you got to win all those 7, and this could be the game changer for it all. Is winning all those 7 is what's going to get us over the line. So, and I'm sure we'll win a couple of those away as well. The not
our
so hard
away
ones.
record's better than our home record. So.
Well, it's tight.
Well, we haven't lost. We haven't lost.
I mean,
away.
it's tight. It's tight. I think
Yeah.
if we win those 7, it is done. But that's really late. The last one's like in May. I want to win it way before, man. So 2 wins in the next 2. I think everyone's totally different to tonight and feeling like this is it. It's especially with Arsenal, with the United, like Arsenal's run coming up. We just went through it earlier. And I don't think Saka. I've just read Saka's not back till April 1st. So
he's still rehabbing.
His training is not training; it's rehab. So rehab is completely different to training. So we need to just cut the shit, people. When you're rehabbing, it's literally trying to build the muscle strength. Is what he's doing. That's way away. And in rehab, you can lapse again. So they're 6 weeks away from Saka. The league in 6 weeks could be a different place.
But they're purposely showing him training,
in
inverted commas, because they need the fans on board. And Arsenal are very intentional about that psychological game. We've seen, for example, Arteta have Saka come in with like a hood on into fixtures and saying he's injured, and then he's in the starting lineup and stuff. So Arsenal intentionally do play those mind games. So they're definitely showing Saka all the time because they need the fans to still believe that he's coming back. He's coming back soon. But yeah, he's still a way off. He's rehabbing, as you said, not actually training or getting ready to play. But yeah, head over to YouTube. Yeah, definitely, guys. Subscribe, like the channel, put some comments in. That stuff really helps us out. As we said, your comments that you guys are putting up, we are putting them on. Forest versus Arsenal is a big game. I think that's a massive game. Forest have shown this season that they are willing to. Gags, can I sidetrack quickly on Forest? Because this is a bone that I have, right? So Forest took a points deduction last season, basically for overspending, right? Similar to what Everton did, just Everton did it in a poor way.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it was worth it. If I'm taking a 9-point hit and I do my transfers correctly, I'm not going to get relegated, and then next season I'm in a way better position than I would have been if I didn't, cheat, so to speak.
Yeah.
So they're flying at the moment.
The long-term gain is much better for them.
Exactly.
And they could win, like as in the amount of money they could win from the Premier League this season if they finish in that top 4, which they're odds on for. Like it's worth way more than those 9 points. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they're talking of building a new stadium as well.
Wow, because then next year, if you're in the Champions League and you try and just do it, that's when they're going to get caught, like Villa. Playing 2 games a week. It's not for. You need big squads or talented squads to do it. So Arsenal have to beat Forest next Wednesday, and then in May they've got Bournemouth. Then they've got to come to Anfield, and then they've got Newcastle one after the other. There you go, Scouse. You make me feel much better as well. Yeah, thank you very much. But yeah, I think once we get these 2 games out of the way with City and Newcastle, our fixtures, like I said, the next 3, all at home at Anfield. Including the Newcastle, all the next 3 after, let's say after City, next 3 Premier League games all at Anfield. 9 out of 9 is a minimum. You take them, and literally, I think Arsenal just shit themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
So whatever happens.
And the thing is, we have the experience, right? In our squad, we've got players that have won league titles.
Yeah,
they don't really. So they still have. In terms of, I know we've got a bit of doubt now as fans after the performance today, but in terms of within the squad, Arsenal have a lot more doubt than we have because Arsenal keep falling short. So a draw against Villa, like we've seen tonight, I think our players can channel that a lot better than if Arsenal go and draw, even to West Ham or whoever it is, because their thinking is going to be like, oh no, it's happening again. We're not going to get over the line. Whereas we've done it before. So I think psychologically they're under a lot more pressure to keep winning than we are.
I think the good sign though, Tad, to take the positives out of today was we played some superb football at times. Like first half, we cut them up so well. We cut them up so well, man. They didn't know what was going on. They were panicking into oh, okay. We've got a Connor Bradley injury update. So my positivity goes into the bin.
Oof.
Not expecting a swift return. Well, that could be him done for the season, like Gomez. Like I said, it just these are gonna tally up. These are gonna have to play Endo at right back. Harvey Elliott at right back, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be
Kwanzaa is gonna have to step up.
Yeah, big time. Let's see.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to rotate the team a bit. I'm just surprised Simicast is not getting the game either. He's just obviously not trusted either at all. But anyway, what we were saying, the positives were we played some really, really good football. Really nice to see after the game against Everton, which was real poor quality, just a fight. And then Wolves second half. The first half was just, I thought we were really good, but the second half was poor against Wolves. But this was a nice return to see that, barring the two shitty goals that we conceded. Thought we played really well, but we did play well. So that's something that's really positive to take into the next two games, is keep playing this way. No need to drop your heads for that. And you'll get your just rewards, you will get the rewards for it. And I think City's defense will be asking, they'll be there for the taking. So if we play like this, they'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
Just have to watch the back, like you say. Just have to watch
it. Keep it tight at the back. And I think, remember, they've got a couple of new guys at the back as well. So they're not going to be used to playing quickly out the back relative to how well we press, because it's not going to be automatic for them in terms of where to pass the ball. Who do I pass to? They're going to have to think about it. It's not going to be instinctive. So I think that's where we can set the traps. That's where we can try and cause them problems. We saw that happen for Aston Villa in this game. Garcia, for our goal, that Jota ended up passing to Salah, it's because Garcia is thinking about where to pass it. It's not instinctive. He hasn't been playing. He hasn't been playing this season much. So he has to think about it. It's not instinctive. And that's when you can get them. City have a couple of those players that they've brought in January that are going to have to think about things. It's not instinctive. So we just have to be on it, capitalize on our chances, keep it tight at the back. Hopefully Alisson has an Alisson performance like we know him.
They've got mini Rodri now.
Yeah. Gonzalez is pretty good, to be fair, but yeah.
So then will he make a difference against us, you think?
Again, it's not natural for him yet. Because remember, Pep's football is very robotic. This is where you pass the ball. This is when you pass the ball. This is how you pass the ball. If you haven't been in that system for a long time, you have to think. And that half second, it's all about those mini seconds, those split seconds. That half second, he's thinking, oh, wait, Pep needs me to pass the ball here. If we set the trap well enough, and I go back to that Garcia mess up for the Salah goal when Jota gets in. It's those split seconds when games are at this elite level. It's so fast. He can't think about where he's passing the ball. He should just know. And we're gonna have to bank on the fact that he hasn't played enough for them to know where he's gonna pass. He has to think about what he's doing, and that's where we can capitalize. I think Szoboszlai is gonna terrorize him.
I hope so. I hope he plays the full game. He might get rotated out just because of his legs, but
yeah,
we've got 2 games in another. Well, I guess this game's got a day's rest in between. It's got the 4th day, or maybe fingers crossed. Anyway, Tad. Anyway, who would be your man of the match today, Tad?
Oof. It's a boring answer, but I'm going to give it to Salah. I was going to give it to Szoboszlai, but I think I'm going to lean with Salah. He gets the goal. He gets the assist.
Yeah.
And I thought we didn't involve him as much as we could have. And I could see him getting frustrated at times when the ball wasn't being played early to him. So he could go one-on-one with his defenders. But yeah, it's Salah for me.
Yeah, I'll agree. I think, did he get the assist for that one?
For the Trent one, yeah.
Oh, he does. He does get it. Oh, that's good.
Hopefully, for the sake of my fantasy team.
Yeah, he got the assist on FootMob, so that's normally,
Perfect.
I think, that's normally Opta related. So Mo's racking up those numbers at the moment. I have to agree. I think Mo was, as soon as we started playing it to him in the second half when Matson came on, Matson or whatever, however you say his name, came on, we all of a sudden just started looking dangerous again, you know, really dangerous again. So yeah, can't argue really. Can't argue with Mo. And to you, I want to just say massive thank you for coming on and joining us. It was great. We've done an hour and 10. We've gone over a little bit. It's a bit late now. But yeah, once again, thank you very much for joining us. And thanks to Jack for sticking around and helping us produce. I thought he was going to head off, but he stuck around in the end. He's going to have a late night himself doing some post-match stuff. But yeah, and thanks everybody in the comments as well for being here. It's not the best result, but we are 8 points clear. So let's keep our heads up, hope for the best, and see what happens next to this. I've got a feeling this is going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride for us, but I think we may just edge them at the end because of the position we're in right now. So keep your heads up, keep supporting. And yeah, all I can say is up the Reds. Thank you very much. Have a great day.